Greetings, pinheads. Pinbra here. Going to go over this Full House pinball machine from Williams. It was actually from March 1966 and it was designed by Norm Clark of Williams fame. Really kind of a neat machine with lots going on, including this really neat feature here in the middle where we've got three actual kind of score reel mechanics that actually have a poker theme applied to them, so you have a chance to match them up and get. You're going for the three of a kind, so you're going to go from tens all the way up to aces, and in the middle reel slot you have an option for a couple of wilds in there as well that are going to connect the dots and give you more chances at three of a kind. In addition, we've got these two targets here, the nine of clubs and the nine of diamonds. Hitting those will also complete your three of a kind to get the full house. Full house is going to give you the best chance to beat the dealer, but you are going to lose on a tie. So even if you had three aces and the nines locked in for a full house with aces, the dealer could also get a full house with aces and beat you, and you would not get a replay on that after draining the ball on that one. How it works is you don't actually know what the dealer has until you actually drain the ball. Once you drain the ball, the back box will light up with the corresponding hand that the dealer has. Sometimes that could be any combination of any three of a kind, and alternatively a nine pair as well. So sometimes the dealer will have a full house, and sometimes the dealer will only have a three of a kind. I think the worst the dealer could have is a three of a kind in tens without the nines. Moving along, I'm just going to try and explain the play field a bit. So you've got your normal plunge here. I've actually started the game already, so I'll just leave that. We've got the left, center, and right rollover lanes at the top. Those all correspond to the reels here. So as you can see right now, there actually is a three of a kind, but hitting any of those is actually going to advance one of the reels, and that's going to lose my three of a kind. There are occasions where, let's say, this king was back one on the queen, and I advanced it, and that would give me my kings right away, and that would lock this in. This is locked in, but during a ball, if your ball happens to ricochet off one of these pops up here, these are all live pops, the ball could bounce back up into one of those top in lanes, and then you could unlock your three of a kind. Typically, you're not going to want that as a player. Locking it in has the advantage of locking all of these lit points for 100 score, which is pretty good in this game, and that's how players are going to get most of their score. And we also have a number of replay levels here. I'll read them off right now: 3100, 3800, 4300, and 4900. And as with all EM pinball machines, that is configurable by the operator in the back box. At this time, I'll also mention that the dealer's hand also has two adjustments actually for the difficulty that it may have. One of the advancements will actually disable, well, actually, I think it connects the aces, kings, and queens from the jacks and tens. So basically, the dealer's not going to get lower than a queen, and as far as a three of a kind, and it adds a lot more options for the dealer to have a pair of nines as well. So in that case, when you have the difficulty cranked up like that, the dealer's often going to have much better chance at having a full house than typically a higher full house. This was kind of neat to explain how the dealer's hand works. Going from memory, which three of a kind the dealer has is actually tied to the match unit. So every time we're going to hit a single point switch, that is going to advance the match unit, which is also going to affect the dealer's hand. Now, again, that's obviously changing throughout the game, and when you drain your ball, that's what's going to come up on the back box. As a player, I guess you might start to notice that pattern, but as a person who likes to fix pinball machines, it was really fun for me to discover that. And then moving to the pair. Now this was very interesting as well. Again, part of the configuration logic in the back box, but also the nines are tied to the hundreds reel. So based on which position the hundreds reel is whether the dealer is actually going to end up with that extra pair or not. So very kind of random there, but kind of fun as well, because for a player, it adds all sorts of variety. You really don't know what the dealer is going to come up with. And I guess for a lot of players at the time, it might have been like magic, and maybe I've just ruined that for everyone. But again, for me, knowledge is power, and I'm just spreading the word on that. Look for patterns always. Okay, talk a little bit about what I've done to this. So typically with these, this era machine, you have a lot of these kinds of almost like plastic rails, I guess, and they're guide rails, I guess. And they're often kind of, even though this one, they weren't cracked, they were still quite aged, and I felt they were going to be brittle and could break during play. So what I did was I've reproduced them, modeled it in CAD software, and 3D printed it with a good wall depth. And this should last the life of the machine at home now. I've played this quite a bit already, bounced the ball off of that. You get a really nice play of the ball. It uses the guide nicely, and don't have to worry about it breaking. And hey, if it does, we can always print more. Unfortunately for this one, this piece is actually pretty good in the scheme of things. There seems to be some reproduction, but since that place in Australia has gone down under, I was not sure where to acquire a new one, so I did the best I could with the nicest one I had, and I also 3D printed a base for it, so it kind of carries the light a bit better. Doesn't look so cracked. I mean, I guess we could paint that, but overall I think it makes the piece work, and it's not so terrible. Did a bunch of work, obviously lots of cleaning on this playfield, tons of cleaning. Everything came off of this one, and we kind of took it from the ground up on the playfield, and everything is as clean as possible. Also, this is a neat version of the game because this year of game, some of the rare ones for Williams, quite desirable, but it does have the chrome flippers, so very cool on that. Let's see, trying to go over anything else. Obviously, we've flattened all these plastics so they're nice and fresh. Replaced all the rubbers, cleaned up the pops really nicely. Made sure these buttons work. They always need adjustments, these types of rollover buttons. And that kind of explains the shop job. Getting back to gameplay, let's just see. So I explained those 3 top rollovers. We have a, let's just get the ball over. Ooh, let's say that. So now, as you can see, we've gone over the top, and we've lost the lock-in on these reels. So anything is going to advance them now. So for example, this is going to advance the right side. This is going to advance the left side. Hitting them will advance them, but in that case, sorry, I'm going to show that again. So as you can see, once I get to wild, I'm locked in. Reels don't change, but I can score a lot more fluidly with those 100-point switches. We got some 10 cents here as well. Now here we have these 200-point scores, and these light corresponding cards. So in this case, we have the 9 of clubs and the 9 of diamonds. You light them both. This lights the middle pop bumper for 100 points, so that's actually not bad, because sometimes you can get some decent action in there. Get 100 bouncing off the 10s, bouncing off the 100s, coming up here for 100, and that's how you're going to start breaking your 1,000 barrier on a lot of scores. And you can see we've got our special lit here, and that's going to be an alternating special based on the 10 cents going back and forth. It's also incrementing the match, which, as you'll remember, also is incrementing where our dealer's cards are going to be. Let's see here. Moving along, I think that kind of covers the playfield. Hopefully I got everything. You're playing around, you're nudging a lot, and you got a free game on the special, as you can see. Alright, so now I'm going to try and show speeding a dealer hand. So let's try and get something decent. Let's get some aces. So we got ace there. Let's take an ace here. And take an ace here, and we're locked in. And let's complete our full house, and let's drain the ball. There we go. So we got a credit, and the dealer got queens. Pretty cool. Let's see what else we can show. Show how the dealer's hand changes. So now, as you can see, I hit 1 10 cents, and the dealer's hand advanced up to kings. What else? Let's see here. Show some of the reels. So let's show the wild logic. Wild, ace, ace. You will notice that one of the things that I thought was really neat as a player is the way this is all situated. So you have a good view of the card that you have active, but you can see the next card coming. So if you do, and this game is trappable, so we can kind of trap it. Let's just try and get a. See if I can get a trap here for video. Always. Woo, almost. Let's see. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh. Oh, wow. So there you can see that we also ended up beating the dealer. So you heard the knock. We didn't get the match unit, which is that orange bar underneath, but we did get the 3 aces, which was enough to beat the dealer. You might notice also this green bar at the bottom. I believe that's just decorative. It's just a set of lights on there. So actually it is white bar normally. I decided to put some green LEDs in. Gives me another chance to explain. You might notice the slight reddish hue here and in the top arch. So I actually just did that with some diffuser shields. When I was taking apart one of the play fields I had on this, it had some of those original, and usually those things are completely faded, but in this case I could tell that I believe originally it had some red a red diffuser there, so I decided, hey, what the heck, I'll do the red diffuser, and I think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, hopefully I can get some gameplay next and show a bit more how this one rolls.